Kettleman's Bagels is proud to support Grill This, Smoke That. Kettleman's, makers of wood-fired Montreal-style bagels using only premium ingredients. With 3 Ottawa locations, Kettleman's menu is available 24/7, 365 days a year. Grill This, Smoke That is generously supported by Oven Brothers, makers of handcrafted Canadian-made wood-burning outdoor ovens for inspired chefs. Visit us at ovenbrothers.ca. Oven Brothers, from our family's backyard to yours.
Grill This, Smoke That is brought to you by Furtado Farms. For all your outdoor cooking needs, they're your premium source for cookwood. Whether it's pellets, chips, chunks, or logs, they've got you covered. Visit furtadofarms.ca for more info.
Hi, I'm Steph Legari, also known as Steph the Grilling Gourmet. On today's episode of Grill This, Smoke That, we're going to be featuring the wonderful dishes of Prince Edward Island with our very special guest, food writer Brigitte Hasbron. So, according to the license plate, it's birthplace of Confederation Day on Grill This, Smoke That. I'm really excited about today's show. We've got the lovely Brigitte Hasbron on, and she is a food writer, and a food writer. Your love for food is amazing, and that's why you're here. So today, we're talking about PEI.
We are, and I'm super excited about this.
We've got oysters in front of us.
Oh, we do. Aren't they beauties?
They're absolutely gorgeous, but you know what? When we think of PEI, there's so much to consider. We've got seafood, we've got people, we've got location. What is it that you love about that wonderful little gem of an island?
Because it is exactly that, a gem of an island, it's also known as Canada's food island.
Right.
And rightfully so. So everything from the warmth of the people that are there, let alone, of course, we're talking about food. It doesn't get any fresher, cleaner than that location. And yes, I'm extremely biased because I'm such a food lover. And their products and their ingredients, let alone the farmers that are there, they actually nurture the ingredients. And you can see that going to different restaurants that are there and the farmers and producers. I've actually had an opportunity to go and visit and obviously eat.
Yeah. Well, that's a great thing, and it's also an island, so bringing food onto the island is very, very expensive. So you can raise your own cattle, you can raise your own sheep, you can grow your own products, and we all know as PEI as the home of the potato.
Yes.
But there's so much more. You know, there's seafood, there's crops that really staggered me. They own forests that they actually mill down for cooking wood, which surprised me. So and the people. The people really make the East Coast special because I think that they really are essentially different from across Canada because they're so welcoming. I'm not saying other Canadians are welcoming, don't get me wrong, you're all loving people, but there's something about the East Coast people where you stand in line for a cup of coffee and you've just made a new best friend.
Absolutely.
It's just that way. And especially with oysters, because you're going to find oysters everywhere. Because they grow there. They're lovely little gems of the sea. Unfortunately, this table holds everything that I can't have. I'm deathly allergic to oysters. I can't drink gin, but I appreciate both ingredients. And today we're going to actually talk about the oyster.
Absolutely, and this is one of my favorite, well, for lack of better words, appetizers. I love them natural, just with a squeeze of either freshly squeezed lemon or limes. I know a lot of people typically like the mignonettes. For me, I want to taste the oyster for what it is. Au naturel, get the sea taste in my mouth, and just plow them back, and I'm good to go.
I went on a boat tour out in PEI, and they brought us to a beach where they actually dug oysters and did all that stuff and collected the oysters and cracked them in front. And my wife, who had never eaten a raw oyster, actually had one, and she was amazed by the freshness and the brininess, and it really surprised me because Jen usually is very reserved in trying really kind of exotics, you know, raw seafood, and she loved it. So how do you open one of these?
Okay, so There's different ways, but typically what we're going to be doing is with our handy shucker is we're going to be opening it up. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people do have mishaps. It's very easy to actually, unfortunately, stab yourself here. So we always have a handy rag with us, tea cloth or whatnot, and then you just protect your hand.
Right.
And then you're just going to give, like, there's always a sweet spot.
So essentially there's a rounded part and a flat part to the
Exactly,
oyster. You want
yeah.
the rounded part down, and I do believe there's a little hinge right there, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I call that spot the sweet spot.
Yep.
There's some give, and sometimes, unfortunately, the shells do break open.
Sure.
It happens.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, and you know, practice does make perfect. So
Yeah.
there you go. So we're just going to give it a good go, and then once you flip it,
Oh, I see. It just kind of pops.
it just pops.
Okay.
Sometimes it's easier than others.
You gotta dig in there sometimes.
Exactly. And so you do not want to try to lose the valuable, the juice that is coming from this.
Right.
And there's also the, what I call like the tongue in there. So that way when you actually suck it back, you're able to suck it back without it actually being stuck still to the shell, that membrane.
So what you're doing right now is you're just running it along
Yeah.
this top of the shell to actually take it off of that area where it's going to,
Exactly.
oh, look at that.
See. So, and this is the part that I was referring to. So
Right.
we just want to be able
To scrape that off.
to scrape that off.
Wow.
Perfect.
And I see all that nectar in there.
That's just liquid gold for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If
yeah.
you feel that you have to, you go right ahead and you shuck that back.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Get it in you.
Okay, we're just
Absolutely.
going to do a little squeeze of lemon.
A little lemon.
Little lemon, just to say. Sorry, I probably got you there.
It's okay.
It's all
Lemon
right.
I'm not worried about.
Perfect. So to PEI.
PEI.
No, didn't do it.
Didn't do it.
No, it's still
Oh,
stuck.
it's stuck.
It's still stuck.
It's stuck.
No.
There we go. It's all right. We got time.
All right.
A little
I
more
want
lemon.
A little bit more lemon. All right, here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Now, what I like is my little element will be lemons. Now, we saw that Brigitte likes it very, very natural. Very natural. What I want to throw on is a little twisty bit, shall we say.
Absolutely.
I'm going to take the lemon and I'm going to smoke it in my Traeger, and that is what we're going to squeeze on later. So why don't we go to the grill? Lovely little lemon, smoker, set to about 180 degrees. We're going to put that lemon in, and we're going to leave that for about an hour to 2 hours and just let the skin of that lemon take on all that smoky goodness. Be right back.